So let's take a break from the serious videos to do a fun tier list where I'm going to rank all the pilot art in Code Geass Lost Stories. And this is only for the ones you can summon, not ones that appear in the game that you could possibly go against, like bosses or things like that. And before I go over all the different tiers or how this is going to work, don't take this too seriously. I'm just having fun here. This is all purely subjective. So with that out of the way, let's go over all the tiers. So first we have is the top tier, which is Cecile Krumi. This is where I'll rank all the Cecile Krumi art in the game, and it ranks the highest because, well, she is the best, obviously. Next we have is C2. There are so many C2 arts in the game that I figured I'll just rank all of them in one little section, and her character is just below Cecile Krumi for me, so I think it makes sense to have C2 below Cecile Krumi. Then we have Kallen, same thing as C2 and Cecile Krumi, but I have her below those characters, well, because I like those characters better than Kallen. And she has so many art in the game. I think she has the most at 14 or 15, so just like the previous two, I'm going to rank all the art within the tier itself. Next we have is Lelouch, the same as the other ones. I won't go further into that. Then to the actual categories. So first we have is the S tier. This is perfection. I think these are the best pilot arts in the game, just from basic observation and from my layman's knowledge of what makes art good, which is of course a very subjective statement. But anyways, the art I think is the best, belongs in the S tier, as long as it's not Cecile, C2, Kallen, or of course Lelouch. Next we have is the A tier, which is badass, adorable, or beautiful. These are arts that are not the best, but I acknowledge the fact that they're really good for those three specific things that I mentioned, which is badass, adorable, or beautiful. So if it's one of those, it's going to go into that tier. Next we have is great art. It's art that, well, it's great. Not the best, not the worst, but it's pretty good. I wouldn't say meh, but it's just, I like it. I think it's great, but not the best, I would say. Next is the C tier, which are not bad, but a bit much. Some of the art in the game is a little too raunchy for me, or a little too revealing or uncomfortable, so I think a bit too much belongs in here. The art itself is not bad, but they didn't really have to do that, did they? But they chose to, and that's why it belongs in the C tier. Next we have is the D tier, which is just not a fan. Basically, these are art in the game that I think are okay, but I don't like them, so I think D tier is appropriate. And finally, Tamaki. These are the worst pilot art in the game. Again, all very subjective, but I don't like them either because there's not much going on. I don't like the character. I don't like the pose. I don't like the pilot in the game itself. Whatever the reason may be, I just don't like the art and I don't like Tamaki, so I think the two go really nicely together. So now that you understand how the tiers work, here's the format for how this is going to work. I'm going to first rank all the art for Kallen, C2 Lelouch, and Cecile Krumi. When that is done, I'm going to randomize all the remaining pictures and then go through them all one by one. And I have to randomize them because otherwise it'll go in order of like the way it's categorized in the game. And so it's going to be kind of boring and unpredictable. I think it's more fun to have it randomized. So that's the format. Let's do it starting with the Lelouch pilots because in case you haven't noticed, they're at the very top. So let's do that. So first we have is Ashford Lelouch. I'm going to put him in the Lelouch category. Definitely one of the better arts in the game. Not to say my favorite, but it's pretty good. You have the student council in the background. So yeah, it's really good art. Definitely really solid. Okay, next we have is Bedtime Lelouch. Gonna put him over there. Definitely not better than Ashford Lelouch, but still really solid artwork. Then we have Zero. Gonna put that above Lelouch. Really good stuff. Definitely better than the previous two. By the way, there's over 180 characters here, so I won't be saying too much about each individual artwork unless it really speaks to me. Because again, 180 is a lot to go through. Anyways, moving on, we have, this is the Street Clothes Lelouch. Definitely maybe the worst one in the game. I'm not sure, but definitely up there. It's not really good at all. That's why it's low end. Then we have the Gawain one. Yeah, I'm going to put this probably after Bedtime. The problem with this artwork, I just don't like the pose. I think the Gawain looks badass, but he does not. So I'm going to put that probably below Ashford and Zero and above Bedtime and Street Clothes. Next we have is the first year anniversary. Really good stuff. Probably put that above Ashford, but still the 01 I think is better. I love the diversity in the outfit and also the background's pretty cool. Next we have is Art 2 Lelouch, definitely peak. One of the best arts in the game, period. Come on now, there we go. Really good stuff, especially with C2. This artwork is just amazing, so definitely belongs. Maybe the best Lelouch art in the game, or definitely one of the best. Next we have is Butler. I would put that probably below Ashford, but still really good artwork, and the character's not bad either. Next we have is the Birthday Lelouch. Putting that's the worst one. I hate that artwork. That hat is so obnoxious. I mean, it's not the worst I've ever seen, but I really hate that artwork. It's not my favorite thing. Next we have is Halloween Lelouch. Gonna put that above Zero, but not better than Art 2 Lelouch. Really good stuff though, and of course he's Batman. So obviously he belongs near the top of all the best Lelouch art in the game. Next we have is Lelouch in the fancy outfit from that really weird banner. I'm going to put him in, I guess above Halloween Lelouch. I think that's fine. The drip here is insane. It's too bad the character himself in the game is not that great, but still the artwork is fantastic. And we got a couple more to go. We got Code Black. I hate this one. Definitely gonna put it probably above Birthday Lelouch, but below the street clothes. Yeah, it's better than street clothes, but I hate the artwork. He looks so cringe in it. I'm not a fan of the Code Black art style in general, so I'm gonna put it near the end. That might piss off some people, but hey, that's how it goes. Next we have is Birthday Lelouch second version. Gonna put him right here. I think that's a perfect spot. Beautiful artwork, but not better than these three, but definitely better than everyone else. I think that's all the Lelouch pilots. So let's move on now to C2. Here we go. This is R1 C2. So we gotta climb a little bit up here. And that's pretty solid. Not my favorite C2 artwork, but it's good though. It definitely captures the mystique of the intro, which I think was the purpose behind it. Next we have is Lazy C2 or Lazy Witch C2 in Lelouch's clothing. Gonna put her probably after C2. Not as good, but still really good artwork. Then we have Zero C2. Really good stuff. That one goes above the R1 C2. Then we have this one, which I don't like this artwork at all because it's really promiscuous. That angle was very suggestive, so yeah, I'm gonna put her probably here. I think the Gawain looks badass, but why did they have her in that pose? It's so obnoxious. I like C2 a lot, but damn, cannot stand that artwork at all, so I'm gonna put her near the end. Then we have the summer one. This is Peak, one of the best in the game. I'm gonna put that above the Zero Suit C2. Oh, I didn't say much about the Zero Suit C2. I don't really have much to say. I think it's very good. It's almost pure perfection, but I think the summer one is better. Next we have is this one, the Ashford C2. Really good. I love this one a lot. Really cute. Gonna put it above Zero. I just think it's just much better. The way the color specifically and with the shading and the brightness, the glow, it's good stuff. Next we have is the New Year's C2. I'm gonna put that above Summer. This artwork is just so damn good. Pure perfection. The banner is also awesome too. They did a really good job here with this character. I'm very impressed with the artwork, and so I think it might be the best C2 art in the game, or definitely close. Next we have is R2 C2. Never mind, that's the best. This is the best artwork. This thing is phenomenal, especially because she's next to Zero, but the colors, the purples and pinks, perfection, man. Beautiful stuff. Next we have is this one, her eating pizza, and you know, it's cute, I guess. We can put it, I guess, above Lazy Witch C2. Come on, stop fighting me. There we go. It's cute, I guess, but not my favorite. I mean, it shows a different side of C2, which I guess is fine, but I think low end is fair. Next we have is the Chinese C2, and depending on who you ask, either the greatest thing ever or the worst thing. For me, it's slightly better than the one behind the Gawain. I just hate that pose. I think her outfit's cute, but the pose really bothers me, so I'm gonna put it after C2 over there. Next we have is Summer C2. This is the second version. I'm not a fan of this artwork at all. I think compared to the first one, it's just infinitely worse, so I'll put it near the back end. Probably better than Chinese C2, but I don't know if it's better than Lazy Witch. Yeah, it's better than Lazy Witch, so I guess I'll put it after eating pizza. Not the worst in the game, but yeah, they could have done so much more. I mean, this one is just so good. How'd you mess it up with this one? I have no idea. And the last artwork is C2 in this weird like dress from back in the day. It's fancy dress C2, and I'll put it here. It's not my favorite. The meow dread's kind of cool, I guess, but compared to everything after it, it just doesn't compare.
English, mother. Do you speak it? Yes!
It's not as good. The outfit's kind of cringe too. Orange and black. I don't know. Not my thing, but it's okay, I guess. Definitely not better than these. Alright, next let's talk about the Kallen art. So first we have is Ashford Kallen. I'm going to put her obviously in here, and it's really good. One of my favorites in the game for sure. Also very wholesome. I like wholesome Kallen art. I don't like horny Kallen art. Wholesome is fine. Alright, next is the fancy dress Kallen. I'm going to put her probably above the other Kallen because I like the art a little more. Although the way she hangs her outfit, I mean, it's a little appropriate, but I think it's cute. The way she plays with her hair, it's more wholesome than this one, so I think that's appropriate spot for it. Next we have is R1 Kallen, or the very first Kallen we get. I'm not a fan of this one at all. I'm going to put it after Ashford. I think it's very obnoxious looking. The overall art could have been a lot better. I mean, she looks great, but man, they were really obnoxious with part of this thing, so I got to put it below the other two. Kind of cool, but also kind of obnoxious. Next we have is the one, this is the Black Knight art. I'm going to put that above this. I think it's a little better, but still, it has similar problems. It's still cooler though than at least this Kallen. Then we have this one. I absolutely can't stand this artwork. It's so obnoxious. The pose, the arms up, I don't know. The Gurin looks cool, but the artwork is extremely obnoxious. So I'd say it's worse than the R1 and also worse than everything else here. So I think that's an appropriate spot for it. Next we have is her in the bunny suit, and I absolutely despise this part in the anime. So even though the artwork is actually pretty solid, it's still one of the worst in the game. Getting her in the bunny suit was one of the worst parts of the show, and so I can't put it any higher than that. Next we have, this one's amazing. I love this artwork. This is R2. Fantastic. It's wholesome, it's cute, it shows her falling out of the Gurin, or falling to the Gurin, either way you look at it. Really cute, she's holding her hand out to you, really nice stuff. And it shows they don't have to go full horny with the outfit, although there is certain things about the artwork that are kind of sus, but generally speaking, it's pretty good. Next we have is Summer, and this one, you know, I think it's cute. She's having a good time, so I'll put it above these four over here. Yes, it's very revealing, but her angle and her expression makes it seem like that she wants to do this, as opposed to some of these where she looks very uncomfortable. And I know she didn't want to be the bunny girl, so therefore I think Summer Kallen definitely belongs higher above the other artworks. Next we have is Christmas. Santa Kallen. I hate this one too. It's so bad. Her back is like broken for the picture. She looks very uncomfortable. If she wore a normal outfit, I wouldn't be as upset about it, but man, the way her back is proportioned, it just looks so wrong. So I'm gonna put that below the other ones. Just really frustrating artwork. This one's amazing. This is probably my favorite Kallen art. That's the New Year's Kallen. Perfection. She looks badass, wearing a very modest outfit. It's very wholesome. I like the background of it. The colors are fantastic, so it definitely belongs as maybe the best Kallen art in the game for sure. It's really good stuff. Next we have is Valentine, also really cute. I'm gonna put that probably above the fancy dress, just because I love the expression, and it focuses more on her face than her body, because her face is the best part of Kallen. At least that's my opinion. Next we have is the Chinese one. The Chinese Kallen, again, has the same problems as R1, but I like it a little more, so I guess I'll put it above the R1. I hate the way they did the torsos, or not the chest for both of these. It's just so obnoxious. You didn't have to do that. That's why I hate the artwork. Next we have is first year anniversary Kallen. Fantastic. I'm gonna put it probably below R2, but really good stuff. This is a great example of how you could show some skin, but not be obnoxious about it, because she looks so beautiful in that dress. And yes, it's a little revealing, but given the context of it, I think it makes sense. And she looks really relaxed in it, as opposed to some of these where just cannot stand it. This one is though. This is really good though. Next is the bride one, also amazing artwork. I'm gonna put it probably after Valentine, but both of these are very good. Again, emphasizing the beauty of Kallen's face, either the hair color, the blue eyes. It's fantastic. Absolutely beautiful artwork. I wish the pilot was better though, but man, that's great stuff. Next is Summer Kallen version 2. This thing is almost pure perfection. I'm gonna put it above New Year's Kallen, but I can't in good conscience do that, so I'll put it right below. I love the way her hair is tied up. The pose is very cute, but also a little enticing, but not over the top. And the outfit itself is really nice. They definitely improved upon the previous Summer Kallen, where C2 they took a step back, which is really frustrating. C2 worse, but Kallen they definitely improved upon the previous Summer one, which I guess isn't too hard to do because the Summer one's not the greatest, but this one, oh my god, so good. I love this artwork. And the character also OP as hell. And then we have the Code Black one, and I can't stand that. She's basically braless, and it's just so gross. I'm gonna put it probably at the end, or maybe not at the end. I guess I'll put it like above here, because I love her expression. She's having a good time, but why, man? Why do you have to do that? I don't know. It's definitely too much. So I'll put it above the other really obnoxious ones, but it's definitely low tier for me. Other than that, it's a great artwork, but they had to hornify it. It was based on Code Black, so it's not entirely her fault, but why they made her look like that in the first place, I'll never know. Okay, next let's talk about Cecile Krumi. She only has 4 arts in the game, and unfortunately they're all jammed at the bottom here, so let's grab them upwards. Here's the first one. This is the second Cecile Krumi artwork. Here's the third one. And finally, the fourth one here. And let me just drag these upwards to her section, or close to her section. All right, let's begin. So, B-Day Cecile is the best one, maybe the best art in the game. Super attractive, super beautiful, godlike. I mean, she's an angel rather. Just perfection. Like, the angle is not too perverted, but I guess it kind of is. But I think it works for what they're trying to do with the artwork. Okay, next Summer, I'll put it after B-Day Cecile. I think the bra is a little bit too much. Obviously, it's not done to actually support her, which is why I don't like the art as much, but still, she looks great. So obviously, it belongs there. Next is the first Cecile we got. I think the artwork is very solid because it captures the best parts about her: cute face, nice hair, and she looks great in the military outfit. And of course, she hides the wonderful ass that she has, and I like that aspect to the outfit. And that's Cecile at her best anyway, so I think that's appropriate to put her above Summer. Then we have her in that poly uniform, and I think that's probably the worst one, just because the pose is kind of obnoxious to me. The character at least is good in the game, but the pose is kind of obnoxious. So definitely the worst of the 4 Cecile arts, but still, it's really good stuff. Okay, so now I'm going to mix up the remaining pilot arts, and then we'll rank them. So I'll be right back after doing that. Okay, welcome back. So I've now randomized all the pilot art. I zoomed out a bit so you can see everything. And so now let's continue on with Chigusa. So I'm going to put her in the great art. Not the best art, but great art. Pretty good stuff. And definitely, I like how it shows her next to Valletta because she lost her memories. So I think from that point of view, it's really good. It does a good job encapsulating that. Okay, then we have Suzaku. This is Reindeer Suzaku. It's great art. Not better than Valletta, though. Then we have Milly. This is like the one with Ashford, the Lake Kawaguchi. Not a fan of that one. Charles, Tamaki rank. Don't like that one. Suzaku in a bathing suit. A bit too much. I don't know. The pose of the angle, it's just kind of gross. I'm going to put him there. I'm not a fan of that one. Then we have Valletta. Also a bit too much. This is her dribbling a basketball while carrying 2 more, if you get my drift. So we'll put her probably above Suzaku. I think the art's better. But yeah, it's just too much. What were they thinking? It's so... Come on, guys, you could do better than that. We got proof. Why would you go to this level? Next we have is Anya, and it's a bit too much. I don't like the angle. I think it's cool that she's behind the Mordred, but the angle is kind of frustrating to me, so I'm going to put her in the not bad, but a bit too much. But definitely better than Valletta for sure. Then we have this Suzaku, also great art. Probably above Chigusa, but it's okay. I take that back. Worse than Chigusa, but better than Reindeer Suzaku. Next is New Year's Kaguya, perfection. I love the artwork. She's super adorable in it, and it's so good. All the New Year's art's fantastic. This one is definitely one of the better ones. Next we have is Toto. This is the second one we got. Really badass. Love the artwork, especially because he's behind his own Gekka. Good stuff, and reminiscent of Stage 17, which was an awesome episode. Then we have D-Tard, putting him in the Tamaki. I hate this artwork so much. So obnoxious looking. Definitely better than Charles, but still, I hate this artwork. Next we have is Cornelia. Definitely badass. Gonna put her above Toto. I think the artwork's just way better. Also, she's cooler than Toto, and the artwork definitely demonstrates that. Plus, you got the Gloucester in the back. Her R1 outfit is still really good even to this day, so I think it definitely belongs in this category, and definitely better than Toto. Next we have is Minami. Just for him alone, he belongs in the Tamaki section, but also the artwork is kind of trash. Next we have is Ashford Suzaku. Great art, I guess. I'll put it above... I guess above the other 2, but yeah, I guess that's fine. It's kind of cute. Arthur's, biting him. It's annoyed by it. I think that's great. Next we have is Dalton. Very adorable. I'll put it after Toto. Just really cute with all the kids, because when he's not destroying you on the battlefield, Dalton's actually kind of a family man, as you see here with all the adoptive kids. So I think wholesome makes sense. A tier I think works. Next we have is the main character. It's the first artwork we get, and yeah, pretty badass. You see the Sugetsu in the background with the main character. Pretty good. When we get to Maya, I'll just put her right after, but they're the same, so I think they both work in the same way. Next we have is Euphemia, perfection, beautiful artwork, definitely encapsulate the character. It's very wholesome, love the colors, all that stuff, great stuff. Next we have is Shirley, just too much, man. This artwork is obnoxious. I hate most of the Code Black stuff, but this one's probably the worst. What is Shirley wearing? The answer is nothing. That's why I hate the artwork. Next we have is Kyul, and I'm going to put him, not a fan. I don't think the artwork is awful, just not a fan of it. Then we have Kallen, and I guess it's great art. It's kind of wholesome, I suppose. It's alright. It would have been better if he was with Schneisel, but I guess we can't have that, so instead we have him by himself, and yeah, it's great art. Not the best in the game for sure, but it's okay, it's solid. Next is Gino. I'm going to put him in the badass, probably above Dalton, above Toto. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. It's great. It's not bad. It's great. Most of the artwork is okay, in my opinion. Next, we have is Rolo. This is badass. I'm going to put it above Dalton. It's really cool because it has Lelouch and the Titrons in the background, televisions rather, and it also encapsulates Rolo's problems with Lelouch and that whole dichotomy he's going through, and the Vincent's in the background as well. So great art overall. Really good stuff. Next, we have is Senba. Not a fan. Not the worst artwork, but just not a fan. Taizo is great, I suppose. I'll put him, I guess, above Suzaku. Then we have Shirley, and not a fan, it's kind of lame. Then we have, what is this, Alderin. Yeah, badass, is fine. I guess above the MC works. Then we have Euphemia, perfection. I love his artwork. better than the other one. Although, I don't know, that's really hard. They're both so good. Yeah, I guess I'll put her above, but that's a difficult one for me. They're both fantastic. Next we have a Schneisel, badass, I think. Yeah, badass is fine. Or adorable, perfection, beautiful. I don't know, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful picture. I guess I'll put it after Rolo, good stuff. Although some people think Schneisel with the glasses is cringe, I think it's fantastic. So put him in the A tier. Next we have is Gino from the school event. I hate this one. Just no. I don't know why. Maybe the expression, the pose, just not a fan of it. Next we have is Shirley. I hate this one too. She looks really creepy in the artwork, like the way she stares at you. Just not a fan of that at all. If I was to organize this though, I think Gino's probably better overall than Detard here, and I'll put Shirley. Yeah, I guess that's fine. I think that works too. And then for the not bad but too much, that's fine. Okay, looks like everything is well organized. Okay, moving on, we have Dorothea. Great art. I'd say, yeah, she's beautiful. I'll put her above Toto for sure. I wish the character itself in the game was good, but as an art, yeah, it's fantastic. I like Dorothea. Hopefully we'll get more of her in the future. I have no idea how that would work, but I hope we do. Next we have is Jeremiah. This is B-Day Jeremiah, obviously perfection, but lower than Euphemia, but still really good art. I love the wings and the pose, and it's Orange Boy, so obviously he should be in the perfection section. Next we have is Orpheus, also perfection. I love the artwork, the pose, the expression, and of course having the Byaku in the background. Really good stuff in the fire too. It's just really cool. It also kind of demonstrates that whole mysterious past of Orpheus and the rage he feels towards the Geass Order. So all that you can kind of interpret from the artwork, or maybe I'm putting more in than what we get. Either way, it's really good stuff. Next we have is Summer Kaguya, and I'm going to put his great art. I think it's okay. Not my favorite, but at least it's cute, kind of wholesome, so I guess that makes sense. We have, Yoshida? Yeah, it's crap. One of the worst ones. I think Minami's worse though, so I'll switch those two. But still, not that great. Bismarck, Giga Chad, obviously perfection, but below the other one, so I think that makes sense. Then we have Ogi. Yeah, bad. I'd say better than Toru, but not by much. This is Schnee, and I guess great art. I'm not a big fan of it, but I think it's great. Above the letter makes sense. Then we have Shirley in the that outfit she wore for the bridesmaid event. Definitely perfection. I'd put it above the rest of them. She looks so good in that outfit. Very adorable, and the colors and expression, fantastic. Totally encapsulates Shirley's positive attitude, and the event itself was just awesome. So yeah, perfection for sure. Next we have is Zhao, and I want to say a bit too much because of that pose, but I'll just say not a fan of it. It's not that great. I don't know what it is. The pose is really obnoxious to me. Maybe because of the way they outline certain parts. I don't know, but I think D tier is fine. Okay, next is Odysseus. Gonna put him in the adorable / badass / beautiful section. A tier. I like seeing him with Catherine, or Karen, if I her name, and Genevieve. Definitely not S tier material, but I think A works for this. Next is Nagisa, and it's alright. Not a huge fan of it. I put the lower end, I suppose, maybe above Milly, but it's okay. Not the best. Next is the other Nagisa. This is the first anniversary. Obviously perfection. I put her above probably Jeremiah. I love her expression, the hairstyle, the outfit, and how Toto is embarrassed in the background. It's just so good. Man, I wish those two got together. I think they do in Resurrection, but let's get some definitive answers. In Zeta Capture, please. That'd be great. Or perhaps maybe a side story with Nagisa and Toto. Either way, let's make this basically canon couple canon. Moving on, we have is Nunnally, and yeah, I'm not a fan of it. I think it's better than maybe Milly, but it's okay. Next we have is Rakshata. Perfection for sure. I'm going to put her above Kaguya. I love this artwork. I love the pose, the outfit. It's all perfect. The colors are beautiful, and Rakshata is super attractive, so I obviously have to put it close to the top. What a beautiful piece of artwork. And of course, her character in the game is equally as powerful. Next we have is Suzaku. This is the first one. I'll say badass. Probably above Dorothea, especially with the lance on the background, and the pose itself is pretty cool, so I think badass works. Then we have the spy. This is perfection. I love this artwork. With him and Euphemia, it's so cute. We don't get too much of them together, especially because, she died, so I think any artwork with them together is really good. This is a good example of that. Next is Milly, and this is the main one. I'd say good art. I'll put it probably above Taizo, obviously. Really cute stuff. Okay, then we have Anya, and it's a bit too much. I don't know, the pose is kind of weird to me. It's not the worst, I would say, but I don't know, with Anya, they do these really weird poses with her characters, so It's good art for the most part, but I'm not a fan of the pose. Next we have Euphemia, and yeah, I'm not a fan of this one either. It's a bit too much. I don't know what it is. Is it because they made her look younger for it, or the way her body hangs out? I don't know. It's just not a fan of this artwork. You know what? I'll just put it here. I just don't like it. I'll put it above Shirley, I guess, but yeah, just not a fan of it. Next we have Euphemia again. This is from the Spy event. Really nice stuff. I'll put it probably above Schneisel. It's cute. Love the hairstyle she has there, and of course the glasses. Very cute stuff. Next we have this is Shinkei, badass for sure. I'll put him below, I guess, Rolo. I don't know why they had them like these weird angles, but I guess we'll do something like that. It actually looks like they're merging into one character, which is kind of funny, but yeah, it's great art, but not the best. I mean, badass for sure, but not better than the ones that I have in this area over here. Next we have a Suzaku, Knight of 7, definitely S tier. I love the shattered glass in the background with Euphemia. I mean, it just shows how he was devastated when Zero killed her, so it's just perfect. People call him Angry Suzaku. I love his artwork. It's encapsulated everything about his character and the themes of R2, so good stuff all around. Next we have is Nina, and I'm putting in the Tamaki section. It's just, there's nothing really going on here, but I don't think it's the worst ever. I'd probably put it above, I guess, D-Turd, but still, no, below D-Turd, my bad, below. Yeah, but still, it's not that great. Okay, Bradley, don't like the character, but it's great art, so I'll put it above Taizo. Next we have is Rolo. I absolutely despise this artwork. It's just so obnoxious. It's supposed to be cute and wholesome, but it just comes across as cringe. Next we have is Monica. Big butt Monica. I'm gonna put her in the bit too much. The angle's kind of obnoxious, to be honest, but it's not the worst artwork. I'll put it above Anya in the category, but yeah, it's a bit too much. Next we have is Jeremiah. Pure badassery. Gonna put him above probably Zaku. He looks so cool behind the Siegfried. Yeah, I think that's appropriate for him. Next we have is Milly. Great art. I'll put her above the Maid Milly. Not my favorite artwork of Milly, but still, it's pretty good. The thing I don't like though is the fact that she's kind of angled awkwardly. So when I use her in videos, it just looks really stupid. But hey, that's what they chose to do with her, so who am I to argue? Next we have as the main character, this is Maya. I'm going to put her right next to Mario. Again, same rank, same value. Next we have is Suzaku with Lelouch. Great artwork, actually. I'll put it above the other Suzaku. It's very wholesome. Maybe suggestive, I don't know, but definitely wholesome. Next we have is Akito. I'll put him above Toto for sure. Really good stuff, especially with the Alexander in the background. So I think that makes sense. A tier is appropriate. Next is Mary, also badass. I'll put her above Dorothea. Really good stuff, especially with the Lancelot trial in the background, and she's doing the classic saber pose. I like Marrybell in general, so any artwork of her is going to be very highly ranked in my opinion, which is why she's in the A tier. Next we have is Monica. I'm going to put her... I guess we'll put in the great art. It's pretty good stuff. I'll put her above Schnee though. I really like this one. Okay, next we have is Anna Clement from Akito the Exiled. Also great art. I'm going to put her right below Monica. Actually, I'll put above. I like it a lot more actually. It's great. Very cute stuff. Then we have Tamaki. Obviously he is probably the biggest Tamaki, so put him there. Then we have Klaus, and yeah, I'm not a fan of it. It's okay. I like the character. The artwork's kind of meh. Then we have Tianzi, very adorable for sure. I'll put her right above Shinkei for obvious reasons. Next we have is Nagisa. I love the artwork, but it's a bit too much. They clearly emphasize one specific area, which I understand, but I still don't like. So I'm going to put her there. And yeah, she is well endowed, but come on, guys, really? Next we have is Guilford. I hate this artwork. It's so obnoxious. The sweat, the pose, it's just awful. Sorry, Guilford, but not good. Next we have is Miss X, and I don't know, it's a bit too much. But no, it's awful, but a little much. The way she's leaning on the floor. All right, that's not fair. I'll put in great art. I'll put it right above Milly. I think I'm overreacting here, and I think B tier is appropriate. Next we have is Urabe. Badass, of course, right above Suzaku. Really good stuff. And of course, unfortunately, he died, well, in the story when this came out. But he had this, I believe, when they rescued Toto. So good stuff all around. Next we have is Guilford. This is him simping to Cornelia. So obviously goes in the crap tier. Just kidding. Yeah, we'll put in the B tier. Probably above Chigusa. It's not bad. Next is Cornelia. And while I think the artwork is not bad, it's still a bit too much. So I'll put it, I'd say, right after Nagisa. But yeah, it's still too much. That outfit is still one of the worst in the series. And even though the artwork is good, it's still crap. Next we have Asahina. Obviously badass. I'll put him above Urabe though. But it can go either way with these two. But I think Asahina is a little better. Next is Vampire Jeremiah. Good stuff. I'm going to put him, I'd say before the other Jeremiah, but I love this outfit. He looks great as Dracula. I think it was a good fit. Next is Nunnally. This is pure perfection. I love this artwork. It's the Valentine's version of her. I'll put her above Jeremiah. It's just really adorable. It maybe is the best Nunnally artwork, but it's definitely up there for sure. Next is Monica, also perfection. This is the first year anniversary Monica, good stuff. I'll put her, I guess after Nagisa. It's so depressing because her character was so interesting. They ruined her in R2. They could have done so much with her, but they didn't. And this artwork kind of encapsulates the depression that Monica has. She's wearing that outfit for her mother who died, but still it also kind of resembles the fact that she also died in a very awful way. So I love Monica. She deserved better, but at least the artwork was nice. Next is Gino Suzaku, and I hate this artwork. I'm just not a fan. I'll put it like, I guess after Tamaki. It's not the worst. I'm just not a fan of it. So if I'm not a fan of it, put it here. That makes sense. Next is Toto. Not Toto, but Toto. And yeah, I'm just not a fan. You can argue a bit too much, but to me, I'm just not a fan of it. Next is Leto. I'm going to put him... Great art, probably over here though. I'm not a big fan of it, but it's good art, I guess. Naomi, yeah, kind of meh. Put her like the mid here. Next is Shirley. I'll put her probably after Marrybell. It's just really cute. I like Shirley when they're being wholesome with her, not when they're being obnoxious with her, as you'll see in future artworks. Next we have is Maya. I'm not a fan of this one. I don't know, I'm just not a fan of the artwork. I'll put it, I mean, it's good, but just not a fan of it, so I'll put it over there. Valletta, it's a bit too much. The angle is a little suggestive, and also, I think they gave her implants for this picture. I don't know, this is my theory. Not the worst Valletta outfit for sure, but yeah, and she's cool, but why, man? Why would these positions are so obnoxious? So I'll put her above the other one for quality of art. But yeah, both of them are a little bit too much. Next is Kaguya, not a fan of it. Just kind of plain, simple, that sort of thing. Next is Ashford Nunnally, very adorable. I'll put it right below Shirley. Next we have is Cornelia, perfection, of course, especially that beautiful buttocks, but also just the outfit's great. The ponytail, all of it is just, it's good stuff. I love this artwork. I'll put it probably after Kaguya. Good stuff. Definitely perfection. Next we have is Milly, and yeah, I'm just not a fan of it. I'll put it probably, I guess, above the art Milly, but still, yeah, it's not my favorite artwork. Then again, Mario, I'll put him next to Maya at the top here. Okay. Then we have Schneisel, this is the newest one we just got. Obviously perfection. I'll put him right after Cornelia. Both these two artworks are just amazing. Both siblings look fantastic in them, and so they should be next to each other. Asahina comes next, and yeah, kind of meh. I'll put him, I don't know, I guess above Nina. I think that's fair. Next we have Marrybell, perfection. Love this artwork. I'll put her, this is difficult. Yeah, I guess after Kaguya makes sense. I was so happy when I got her in my Japanese account. Great character, and this outfit is fantastic. The backgrounds of Spain, and she looks super attractive in there too, so good stuff and beautiful artwork. Next is Jeremiah with Valletta and Kyul in the background, also badass. I'll put this one above the other Jeremiah. This might be the best one they released, but all three of these, man, good stuff. Next is Rakshata, also badass. I'll put her, I guess after Asahina. I know it's not the most complicated piece of artwork. I just love Rakshata so much that I think A tier is appropriate for any artwork she's in, unless it's just really obnoxious, which I doubt they would do for her. Next we have is Clovis, and yeah, pretty bad, one of the worst in the game. Maybe I hate the character, I'm not sure why, but yeah, it's one of the worst in the game. Next we have is Benio, super adorable. Gonna put her, I guess I'll put her after Shirley. Really cute stuff. And I like Benio as a character in general, so like a little biased there, of course. Next we have is Milly from the Valentine event. Perfection. Love the artwork. The color is great. The pose, the dancing. What's kind of funny about Milly is that as we're going through this, there's not a lot of really horny stuff with her, even though you'd think there would be, but there isn't. Shirley's actually gone and much worse than she did, which is kind of ironic. But anyways, I think Milly's perfection, at least this one, and I'll put her, yeah, after Kaguya. I think she's like mid-tier perfection, but still perfection nonetheless. Next we have is Suzaku. This is the B-Day Suzaku, and yeah, it's pretty good. I'll put it after the regular Suzaku. I'm not ranking them because they're both Suzakus, but I think that makes sense. Also, looking at this tier list, I think Bismarck should be a little higher. I'm going to put him after Euphemia. I really like the artwork, so. Okay, next we have the new Suzaku, and not a fan of this one at all. I don't know, maybe it's the expression, Nunnally. I'm not sure what it is, but yeah, I'm just not a fan. I'll put it after the new main character artwork, but yeah, I don't know, I'm just not a fan. Next is Naudet, very good. I'll put her after Anna Clement. I love the pose of Naudet. I think she's a great character. Seeing the club in the background's also pretty cool, but not on the level of Dorothea, but still, great artwork. Next is the main character. This one just came out, and definitely perfection. I'll put Maya and Mario. I'll put it above Rockstar. I really love the artwork. It's really good, especially with the Gawain castle in the background. But even without the Gawain, I just love the outfit, the pose, the expression. Again, perfection. Next is Dalton, and it's great art, I guess. I'll put it after Taizo. Not my favorite, but it's kind of cool with him and his sons. Next is Suzaku. This is pure perfection. I'm gonna put it probably, I'll say right between the two Euphies, appropriately, of course, because this is when Suzaku was the happiest with Euphemia. It's a good pose of her face in the background. Good stuff. I love comparing this one to the other one we went through before and seeing how he's happy with her here. And then this one, she's gone and the glass is shattered. So, man, both artworks are just fantastic. Next we have is Anya, B-Day Anya. And again, it's just too much. Why is she wearing that outfit? It's so obnoxious. Great character in the game, but damn, why with that outfit? Next we have is Tamaki. And of course, he goes in the Tamaki section. I think this one's actually worse than the other one. Yeah, it's worse. So, Tamaki section for sure. Ogi, not a fan. I'll put him in the D category. Holly Marrybell, perfection, of course. I'll put her right before the other Marrybell. Both of these artworks are just absolutely amazing. So obviously S tier. Then we have Urabe. Yeah, it's not that great. I'll put him rather, I guess above Euphemia. No, that's not fair. I'll put him after Clovis. Next is Toto, great art. I won't say badass, just great art. I'll put him after Guilford. I think that's appropriate. Next we got Detard, also great art. I'll put him after Taizo. Then we have Kyol, and I'm just not a fan of it. It's okay, I guess. I'll put him after Nagisa. Then we have Lloyd. Because the seal's in there, it automatically elevates it a little higher than it should be, so I'll put it in the B tier, probably after Guilford. We'll put him after Schnee. I like Lloyd too, so I think that's appropriate. Next is Claudio, and where should Claudio go? I guess, yeah, badass. I like him, but like low tier badass. Next we have is Maya, and she'll go right by Mario in the perfection section. So there we have that. Next is Kento, and I'll put him above Naomi, but it's all right. Maid Shirley, obviously perfection. Love the artwork, very adorable. I'll put her after Maid Milly, but still both are really good artworks. Next is Bartley. This is maybe the worst art in the game. God, so awful. Next is Shirley, Valentine Shirley, and yeah, it's a bit too much. I'd say it's better than obviously the previous Shirley, but still, what is with these outfits? They're so obnoxious. Genesis RE Code actually did this better. How do you lose the Genesis RE Code by being more hornier? I don't know. That's what happened here. But anyways, Valentine Shirley, definitely a bit too much. Then we have, this is Code Black Euphemia, and this is actually only Code Black art I really like. So I'm going to put it probably in the badass, adorable kit section right after Suzaku. I think that's really appropriate. Both artworks are fantastic. Next is, this is the the swimsuit, Shirley. And I'm putting it after Valentine, but yeah, no, I'll put it up here. But man, again, what with the Shirley outfits? They're all so obnoxious, so I'll put it there. She deserves so much better than this. Why did you give her these really, you don't have to do this for the outfits, but they chose to, so kind of frustrating. Next we have is Rivals, screw you DX, and I'm going to put him, I don't know, I guess by Tamaki, whatever. Schneizel, badass, of course, and I'll put him above Rakshata. That makes sense. Really cool with the chess. I'm playing chess, the White Knight, or the White King rather. Really good stuff. Then we have Rivals again, and I just can't stand him, so he's going to go there. And both Rivals can go there. None of them are redeeming in my opinion. Next we have is Alderin. Also a bit too much. It's kind of cute and it's kind of not, so I kind of lean back and forth between not a fan and C tier. And because C tier is technically higher, I'll put her in C tier. But I guess you could argue D tier. I don't know, like Marrybell, they hit it out of the park, but Alderin, what the hell, man? Not good stuff. Next is Nunnally. This is from Art 2. Perfection. I love this artwork. It's really good. Like the expression, the colors, the background. Man, they really went all out with this one. I'm going to put it above Shirley, believe it or not. I think it's just that damn good. Next we have is Nunnally. Again, this one's a bit too much. I don't like her laying like that. I know if you're thinking that, you got problems, I guess, but why though? It's just, it's kind of like, it's like Anya. They're both really cute artworks, but I don't know. I'm not a fan of the outfits they're wearing, especially because they're both underage. It's just kind of weird to me. Maybe that's just me. It's just a me thing. I don't know, but I'm not a fan of either one. Next we have is Sayako, and it's okay. I guess great art's fine. Then we have the second Sayako, and I'll put her in the badass for sure. She looks really cute, especially with that outfit. Probably better than Jerry. I'll put her above Jerry, actually. A little controversial opinion there. I'll put her above Jerry. Next we have this one again. What's with the side boob? Just a bit too much. Good artwork, really cool pose, but again, it's a bit too much. Next is Jerry. I don't like this one at all. I'm going to put it probably in the Tamaki section. I'll place it after Euphemia, but yeah, I don't like this artwork. It's just, I know it's cool because it's Jeremiah's last stand, but I'm not a fan of it, so I think that's appropriate for the Tamaki tier. Okay, next is Halloween Valletta, and finally we got someone we could put in the S tier. What I love about this artwork is that it's really beautiful. She looks great in it. It's wholesome despite the fact that it's also kind of horny. The balance here is just really good, and that's why I think it belongs in the S tier. Now, in terms of where it should go, I really like it more than Rockstar, to be honest. Even though that's very difficult, they're both really good stuff. I think it belongs above Rockstar, but still, damn, good artwork. This is probably the best Valletta's ever looked in the game, and that's why I think it belongs in the S tier up perfection. Next we have is Lloyd, and just not a fan of the artwork. I think it's okay. I'll put it above Kiel, I guess. Next is Guilford. Badass, absolutely, I love this artwork. The character is mad, but man, the artwork is awesome. The pose especially. I'll put him next to Cornelia so you can simp for her some more. And then last but not least is Layla La Britannia, I believe. That's Clovis' sister. But unlike Clovis, I actually like this artwork. I'll put it in the great, probably after Kaguya. No, before Kaguya makes sense. Now let me zoom out so you can see the whole thing. This is all 180 characters. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'm like scrolling here. It's just, okay, perfect. So there you have it. I have now ranked all the art in terms of what I think is the best. I know we are going to get more characters this month for the Japanese version, but I don't care, and I'll probably rank all the art again, maybe in a few months from now. We will see. Let me know your thoughts, as always, in the comment section below. Let me know if you want me to then do a tier list on all the Nightmare Frame artwork or artwork for other games like Janissary Code. I'd love to tackle that one in the future if you're interested. I know it's not Lost Stories content, but it's close enough, right? So until then, I recently did a ranking of all the banners in R1 to help you guys know what to prioritize for, and here's my thoughts on Birthday Lelouch. Go check out those videos right now.